How y'all doing? To give everybody a chance to see that I'm on. I have a super important thing to talk about today, and that is children in tech. Oh my goodness. It's been a long week already. Looking forward to the holiday. I'm going to give people a chance to see that I am on. Hey, how you doing? Long time no see, girl. I want to talk about something that has been really, really heavy on my mind recently. And I'm not sure who needs this information, who needs to hear it, but I feel like we at least need to start having this conversation. And again, I'm going to give people a chance to see that I'm on live right now because I want to talk about things that parents and people who love children should be aware of when it comes to technology. I know that's right. We definitely will. So, this talk was actually inspired by a lot of different things. I know that I said that I wanted to start having more conversations with my followers since I've left Twitter. For those of you that don't know, I am the Black Tech Guru. I run Technologist Computers. I'm a network engineer by trade, and I love all things tech. I love all things Black as well. I love my people so much. So I want our children to have the same access as everyone else, and then also remain safe. So I will just go ahead and get into it. This was kind of prompted by the news that photographs of families had been taken by Roomba devices, which I would classify as IoT or smart devices, and ended up on private groups on Facebook. And so that really made me concerned that maybe parents are not necessarily aware of how their children are being surveilled or really when. And one thing we all want to do is keep kids safe. I think that that's critical. That's always going to be a priority for me. And I think that that's a priority for most people out there. But from what I've been hearing, like I said, Roomba has been taking pictures inside people's homes, and those pictures ended up on Facebook. Now, what happened was, it looks like, well, what the company is saying, and who knows whether we can believe that or not, what the company is saying is that Roombas technically don't have this feature. They were testing a beta model, and they obtained permission from all the families that were tested. But the type of pictures that these Roombas were taking were, I would consider, very private. I mean, a photograph of a woman on the toilet ended up in a Facebook group. A young boy's face looking directly into the Roomba ended up on the Facebook group. And I don't think people really are taking the next logical step when it comes to technology and their kids. So, for example, if you have an Android phone, and you use Google Maps. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but when you're using Google Maps, when you go into a dark space, the color of the map changes. It gets brighter or darker depending on what kind of light the camera is exposed to. So most people aren't taking that next logical step to say, hey, I did not authorize my camera to be taking photos or to be sensing anything right now. How is this feature working? Well, obviously it's using your camera to view the light where you are. And the same with a Roomba. Gosh, how does a Roomba know how to go around all the different furniture? Well, there has to be a sensor or a camera inside the device to help it guide itself, right? So I don't think people are taking the next step to say, okay, maybe these types of items I shouldn't have around my kids or I shouldn't have in my home. And another example that I recently saw a video of a family that had installed a I don't know whether it was a Simply Safe security system or a Arlo safety system, but they had installed cameras inside the children's bedrooms to keep an eye on them. And when I heard this, my immediate thought was, oh my God, what a violation. But then also, as a parent, I know that it can be difficult to keep track of our kids with technology these days. Are they home? Are they not home? But to go to the level of placing a video camera inside of a bedroom risks exposing naked photos and videos of your child on the internet. You know, you think about it, these are networked cameras, right? You can control them, you can see them whether you're at home or not home. Well, if you can do that, other people could potentially do that as well. And I remember, I think it was like last year, some OnlyFans model got attacked in her bedroom. Her video went viral and she blew up overnight and made all this money. But for most of us, I mean, that's not going to be the outcome. Having naked photos or videos of us on the internet could destroy your life. It's the equivalent, I mean, not being cognizant of the exposure of your children to technology and kind of the data and information that's being gathered about them, for me, is equivalent to ruining their credit before they get a chance to sign up for credit. You know, all these devices, cell phones, smart cams, computers, social media, they're all gathering this information about your kids and creating profiles and distributing this information throughout the world before the children actually have an opportunity to make the choice for themselves. And so as a parent myself, we need to really think about the ways in which we are using technology, the ways in which our children are being exposed to technology and what information is being collected about them. And I've just given you a couple of examples of the ways in which, you know, social media, cameras, smart devices can surveil our children. And it's not an issue of, well, if they're not doing anything bad, then they shouldn't be worried about it. It's an issue of, you know, these children have not had the opportunity to make the decisions and make the mistakes for themselves. But because we as adults have decided to expose them to these devices, there's information out there about them. And so I just wanted to have this conversation. I mean, keeping your home safe, keeping your children safe is very important for every parent. But to go as far as putting a camera in a bedroom, like, that's just a big no-no, because once the pictures and videos are taken, we don't have 100% control over where that information is being sent. And you think about it logically, like, oh, I'm going to get the security system to keep my family safe, and I'm going to be able to watch it from home or the grocery store. Well, that means that information is going onto the internet. It's going onto a server someplace. Do we have control over where it's going? Do we have control over the security of that server? We do not. And so having those types of photographs or videos about your kids really exposes them. And so what I have done as a workaround, because I have installed multiple security systems and smart devices, you know, never have a bedroom, never have a camera in a bedroom. That's rule number one. If you're concerned about, obviously, safety, you can have the camera facing the doorway so you can see who's going in and out. There are motion detectors that can at least notify you, hey, something's moving around in the room and it's not a full camera. You can put sensors on the window to see whether it's being open or not and track things that way. But I guess for whether you're an adult or a child, it's super important not to have these devices in private or sensitive places. So, you know, bathrooms, you know, bedrooms, any place that a person might inadvertently be seen undressed, you don't want to have a camera there. And I would hope that it's common sense, but I see a lot of parents making this mistake in the name of safety. And it is not safe to have these kinds of devices in private areas around your children. So the Roombas, the Alexas, the Google Homes, they have to come out of the bedrooms and bathrooms. They have to come. I mean, I personally would never have one of those devices in my home because, again, they're recording your voice, what's being said, whether you know it or not, and sending that information out on the internet to unknown places.